Welcome back to That's Camellia podcast. We're going to continue our journey where we're having these real life conversations about life in these episodes that we're going through. So let's join in and let's continue this journey to win this race and continue to cause a ripple in each other's lives that has a lasting impact that goes beyond us. All right. Hey, it is April. So, welcome to April on That's Camellia podcast. Hey, so this month we're going to continue to build on this whole episode that I've been talking about, following up from our March episode last month. So, if you haven't heard it, please go back and listen to it because we talked about acknowledging the roars, right? That and we've planted these what I want to call bell pepper seeds because everything starts with a seed. If you see something that has bloomed up or sprouted in your life, go back to the seed. When was it planted? When was that thought planted? When was that word said? So always go back to when it started. So now I want to go a little bit deeper for April. We're moving from simply simply staying focused, but we're going to get grounded. Last month we were talking about being laser focused. This month in April, let's talk about being grounded in the root of our faith. Yes. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the power of thinking above your situation. And I have always been saying to hope beyond what you see. Now, if you want to see a change in your harvest, what's being sprouted up in your life, you have to have the boldness and the audacity to think and say what you want, even when your circumstances are shouting something totally different. But it's time to move beyond sight and start operating in this realm of hope. And that's my purpose, right? So let's start. I'm gonna recap of what the declaration that we had from March. I am laser focused on my vision. I will not be moved by the temporary roars of my circumstances. I trust the seeds I have planted. I am patient with the process, and I choose to find joy in quiet growth of my in between moments. That was last month. But come on, stay with me. Because we are going to be focusing on grounding in the root of faith. So, focus is a mental discipline, it's a muscle that we have to operate, we have to practice, we have to continually condition this faith muscle because our faith is going to be our spiritual anchor. It's going to get us through so many circumstances and life situations when we know who to go to and what to do when life gets hard. You know, when the wind blows, it's not the leaves that can save us, it's our root and our faith that God is our keeper. So, how do we strengthen our faith? And how do we get our peace in the midst of all of this wind and this loud noise, right? In my opinion, we have to reduce the noise and the what ifs because circumstances are real. They aren't necessarily final, but the noise reduction, the noise reduction, there's a strategy, and I want to share that with you as we just learn to lower the volume of what we see so we can hear the frequency of what we believe, right? So that means that we have to think above our circumstances. To get a different result, we have to think at a higher level than our problem. So, how do you hope beyond what you see? Remember, I talked about it's a muscle. We have to train our mind to see what we want to happen because we will have what we say. Think about your life. Your life is a sum of your choices that you have made. Think about things you have said about your life. Is your life displaying that? Just think about it. Think about what you've said over your life. And I want us to be good stewards and managers of what we say. Because we could think a thing, and I know for women we could have 4 or 5 different scenarios going on in our head about a circumstance, and then at the end of the day, maybe one or none of them come true. So instead of thinking of all of these different scenarios and what ifs, we have to minimize that noise by what we say. You can't think and talk at the same time. If you're thinking something, if you say something, that thought stops. So for April, our declaration, let's make it, I think above what my circumstances say. I have the audacity, the hope to say what I want, and the faith to believe what I cannot see yet. My hope is not a wish. This is not a wish. It's a confident expectation. I am rooted and grounded. I am focused. I am rising above the noise in my head. And I am believing God for what He said over my life. That's our April declaration. So during this month, I want you just to write down whatever that one circumstance that has been bothering you. Right next to it, write down what you want to see instead. Instead of the threat of that circumstance, what it's saying, write down what you want to see instead. And I just want you to think about the want out loud. Not the circumstance, not the roar of the circumstance, but what you want. Say that. And every 5 minutes, just start with 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes in the morning when you get up, just be thankful and grateful you did wake up. And then remind yourself about your faith and about your declaration and about your hope of what you want to happen, of whatever that circumstance is. Just remind yourself and keep doing it throughout the day. Yes, throughout today. So April is going to be like a mindset pivot, right? Thinking above the noise. Whatever the roar is, think above it. And also apply your faith. Your faith. What are you believing God to do? And whatever you're believing God to do, thinking and saying it. Thinking and saying it. Because we will have what we say. We will have what we say. We want to be grounded in the root of our faith. It's easy to say what we see, but it takes some hope and some boldness and audacity to say what we want our circumstances to look like. So we are learning and we are shifting our mindset to think above the noise. So have the audacity to say what you want and the faith to believe what you cannot see yet. All right, that's all we have for right now on That's Camellia podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today as we continue on our life episodes together. Remember, be that ripple in other people's lives and change the world. Talk to you later. Goodbye for now. And remember, have a blessed day.